Well, despite the war raging on for years and years and years, Lincoln decides that the fourth Thursday of every November is going to be a day of Thanksgiving for the benevolent God who decided that it was cool to let people own other people and then to have a war over it. So, yay, Thanksgiving. Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me, as always, is Prospector Johnny. And Johnny, we've actually got a battle this week.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a mixed
Big
bag.
things.
There's good news. There's bad news. It's a war that's not going to ever end. So let's.
Okay. Well, so it's not the. Go ahead and rewatch another week. Pick one at random, and it's probably going to be a lot like this episode.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. All right, Johnny. This week's going to open up.
Except I don't know. I'm a little hurt actually. For the first time in about 4 years, I got a new shirt.
Oh, it is a new shirt. It's a
and
green
you have
shirt.
not said a thing.
I apologize. I apologize, Johnny. It's a very handsome shirt.
A little. Thank
very
you.
Handsome shirt.
Thank you. It's got
little green tassel. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
it's got the bits. Yeah, it's everything.
I'm still wearing the same uniform.
And
I've been wearing.
No, I know. If you had upgraded your uniform or got more bars on it or whatever, I would have noticed and I would have complimented.
I'm never going to get promoted. That's crazy talk.
But no, you are set in your ways.
Samesies.
So anyway, that was all. Little side note, little
handsome shirt,
little
Johnny. Handsome shirt.
A personal victory for me. New shirt.
You're able to. I mean, you're moving up in the world. Did you discover some gold? You're able to buy a new shirt.
Multiple shirts.
Yeah, multiple shirts. Yeah,
a jacket.
Yeah, and a jacket.
It's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Don't need the jacket quite yet.
A new lantern.
Very comfortable. Yeah. Oh, nice.
For those with a very keen eye. Old one got broken somehow. I wonder how that happened, Lieutenant.
Huh? I didn't break your
I wonder
lantern.
how my old lantern got broken.
I didn't break your lantern.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
When you came camping, you broke my lantern. You threw it in a fire.
No, that was my lantern. You threw my lantern in a fire. The one that I brought down.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
it was something.
It was
like
my
that.
lantern was thrown in the fire, and then the kerosene caught, and it went.
Hey, what happened this week? No one cares about this.
All right, Johnny. The week's going to open up on the 14th with General Price pleading with Missouri residents to join him on his redemption of Missouri, and all the residents go, nah, not going to do that.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Not interested.
Not interested in the least. In response to that, on the 15th, Price attacks Sedalia, Missouri. The Home Guard and the citizens attempt to resist, and then are quickly stampeded. Federal forces attempt to arrive and make their own stand, but they're kind of stampeded by the retreating civilians and Home Guard, and that results in its own retreat. And so that
turns out Home Guard and civilians against an army, not a good matchup.
Not a great matchup. No. On the 16th, Johnny Price.
Let me say that again for the people at home in the future. Civilians and Home Guard against the standing army, not a good matchup.
Not a great matchup. No.
And will probably even be less of a good matchup 160 years in the future, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, probably. Johnny,
it's a bad idea,
on the 16th, Price's forces are going to seize Ridgely, Missouri. On the 17th, Hood stops harassing Sherman's Chattanooga-Atlanta rail line and returns towards Gadsden, Alabama. And Price is moving his forces northwest towards Lexington, taking Carrollton. But two separate federal forces begin skirmishing with Price, one in front of him and one behind. So you got cavalry kind of coming up from behind and a federal force in front.
Yeah.
So they're starting to kind of maybe pin Price in, and maybe that'll do something, but probably
that should be it. That's not. What do you mean? Maybe that's it.
Johnny, have you not been paying attention to this war and how bad we are at fighting it?
Tommy, this is how it should be.
Yeah.
And if it's not how it is, I quit. I'm done. If this ends up with Price getting away somehow and like pushing us back or gaining something, God forbid, I'm done. You are going to be speaking to this wall.
Well, Meanwhile, Longstreet has recovered enough from his wounds that he actually resumes command of his corps down underneath Lee. On the 18th, we're going to see Confederate generals underneath Early overlooking Federal positions at Cedar Creek, and they plan for an all-out attack on Sheridan's positions, which seems a little wasteful because he is massively outnumbered at this point, but they're like, maybe if we do a surprise attack,
that doesn't matter.
It'll be good. It'll be good, right? And on the 19th, we're actually going to see that battle commence with Early separating his army into 3 separate groups, using the mountains and fog to conceal his movements. The rebels actually brilliantly pull off a surprise attack against the 8th and the 19th Corps of the Sheridan's army, taking the camps and breastwork with ease, capturing some of the Union soldiers while they're in their tents sleeping. And there's the Confederate just opens his tent with a musket and be like, "You're mine now."
What the hell?
Yeah, that's how
bad way to wake up.
Bad way to wake up. Yeah.
I mean, was there any of that rebel yell bullshit going on?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, waking up to that. Hoo, 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 crap. Yeah. The third corps, or the third group that attacked the Union 6th Corps, doesn't go as smoothly, and the Union 6th Corps commander, Horatio Wright, makes a fighting withdrawal to better ground. He is actually the overall commander of all the Union forces at this point in time, because Sheridan's actually in Washington, D.C. Not there. Had a meeting with Lincoln.
Well, bad timing. A little bit, I guess,
for
a vacation to see the nation's capital, but okay.
It happens. By 10:30 a.m., the Union camps have been raided. Many of the wagons and artillery pieces have been captured. Sheridan is actually going to arrive to the battlefield and resume command at about 10:40-ish in the morning. Over the next few hours, Sheridan's going to actually rally his troops, redraw the lines, and at 4 p.m. conduct a counter-assault on Early's lines. He actually drives Early's forces back to Fisher's Hill, causing heavy casualties on the Confederate side, to both losses of men and material. Both sides kind of take a bad beating, but Early gets the worst of it once Sheridan gets his shit together. North is going to lose 644 killed, 3,430 wounded, 1,591 captured. It's not great numbers. To Confederate losses that are...
No, but that's... they
For what we've had lately, that's not bad.
Pajamas.
Yeah. It's not bad.
They're in their nightcaps.
And
their little, like tea candle.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
And... couple thousand?
The Confederate estimate 300-ish killed.
0.
1,500-ish
half as
wounded.
many killed?
And then...
half as many killed?
Half as many killed-ish.
Did they go into tents, without weapons?
Alleged.
And say, hey...
No, that's
guys,
how many the Confederate lost. The Confederate... We only killed half as Confederates as what we lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
We still.
Yeah. The 1,000...
Am I confused? Did they... Who did what?
The Confederates took over the Union camp and was capturing people in their pajamas. Yeah.
Yeah, and they still lost half as many men as we did?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
A little bit. They're also going to lose another...
They lost to men in underwear.
They did. They're going to lose another 1,000-ish missing as well. It's a Union victory of sorts to break the fourth wall. This is actually the end of the fighting in the Shenandoah Valley. This is the last of the major.
All right, so that's how we know it's a Union victory is future.
In the Shenandoah Valley. Cool. Also, on the 19th, Johnny, 25 Confederate raiders from Canada, they're going to enter Vermont with the goal of conducting shenanigans.
Say that sentence again.
25 Confederate raiders.
Canadian Confederates.
They're not. They're Southern Canadians that fled up into Canada and are rabble rousing, and then they're going down to Vermont to try to.
So they're Southerners.
Yes, who live
went
in
to Canada.
Yeah.
And now they're Canadian because of that, but they're not real.
No, they're not Canadians. They're just in Canada. So there are 25 Confederates.
So they fled. They're like, hey, F that whole country.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of it. Yeah. They went to a better country.
They
chose it.
Yep.
And then now they're like, I'm still going to fuck that country. I'm going to come back and do it again.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It gets better, Johnny, because
why? Because
their goal was to raid and burn some cities down, but what they actually do is they rob 3 banks and they steal $200,000 total in gold.
So it's just
so they're just robbers. Yeah,
right.
it's just bank robbers.
No, so all right. What the hell is it? No, Tommy. The story here is Southerners fled war, went to Canada, and then decided to become bank robbers under the guise of the Confederate Army.
Yes.
That's what happened.
Yep.
If they wanted to fight for the Confederate Army, you want to know what they would have done instead of going to Canada?
Joined the army?
They would have joined the army.
Yeah, they would have.
Lieutenant?
They didn't.
They would have run to Canada and then be like, hey, Canada's expensive. Turns out maybe we should rob banks in the country that made us leave our former fake country that we had for just a little bit.
Yeah.
I wonder if they left before or after secession. Maybe they've always.
I don't know all the people. Their leader is a man by the name of Young. The citizens of Vermont are actually going to rally, killing one of the raiders during one of the bank robberies. They rout the rest of them. Their leader and 12 of his raiders are going to be arrested, but only $75,000 worth of the gold is recovered, which to me sounds like they actually recovered all $200,000, but we only got $75,000.
Yeah, no, Lieutenant Tommy. They recovered the $200,000 of gold, and then they handed it off to the proper authorities, who took that $150,000 worth of gold, and they gave it to the people who were responsible for putting it in the vault. And those people put the $75,000 worth of gold that they got and that they found into the vault.
There's definitely
and all 75,000 of it made it.
There's definitely some shadiness going on there. But Johnny,
there was nothing missing in the end.
The week is going to end with Price pushing federal forces back from Lexington on the 20th. However, his raid has been far from success. His whole goal here was to actually raise a significant force of Missourians, like to join the Confederate cause. That didn't happen. He's also
he's trying to get a bunch of people who Missouri's been through some shit with this war. They're both sides have been made it their own little political battleground state to try to gain their support and everything. And they've been through it. They had their own little mini civil war beginning of the shit. They're done. They're tired of it.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that again.
No.
We remember what happened, 2-3 years ago, whenever it was.
We don't want, we don't want it. They're done. They don't want any, they're good. They don't want any part of it. He's also not raised any, significant, he's not gotten any significant amount of supplies or wagon trains or that kind of stuff. He's not diverted any significant Union forces to that area. He's not diverted any significant Union resources to that area. So, it's really not been a success. And at this point, he's now backed himself up against the river with a Union army on both sides. Not a great position to be in. Final note I have here.
I could think of some better ones.
For the week, Johnny, is that Lincoln has called for the fourth Thursday of every November from now on to be a day of Thanksgiving for the benevolent God Almighty, for us to give thanks to God Almighty, which seems a little like we have a constitutional amendment that says maybe we shouldn't be having a day of Thanksgiving to the God Almighty, and maybe something else.
Lieutenant Tommy, it's a time of war. That sounds pretty blasphemous and also traitorous for you to say those things. It does. I think we do need to take the fourth Thursday of whatever the hell he said, stupid arbitrary thing.
Fourth Thursday of the month.
And give a thanks. But here's the thing. When we teach it to our kids in the future, can we tell them that it is us being thankful for, I don't know, the people that we massacred for teaching us how to grow crops?
Yeah, the pilgrims, being fed by Indians. Yeah, we'll make something up about that. Yeah. That makes that's way more sensible.
Cool.
Yeah,
that'd be good. Yeah, I would like that, because I don't want it to be just our president during a time of war tried to get Americans to forget about war, and also during a voting year to forget about all of that and maybe just be a little bit more harmonious and loving towards each other and grateful for the things that they do have. Be thankful for the land that we have already taken from the natives. And, maybe forget about the fact that, a lot of that land we took is being taken by a belligerent nation and trying to, they're trying to take it back or take it to somewhere else. That's annoying. Don't love that. But be thankful that until now, we've had up until the Mississippi, and I'll bet you in God's will we'll get all the way to the goddamn Pacific Ocean.
I bet you. Yeah.
If we play our cards right. I mean, I guess we got California. So I guess in between.
Well, we got they're all territories.
We
got that from Mexico. We own all that stuff in between. They're just not states yet.
So cool. So that's great. So
mission accomplished.
There's a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah.
So every year be thankful for those things.
Yep. That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. If you enjoy Civil War in Hindsight, check out Historic Hindsight. We do all kinds of fun, random things. We talk about Wild West heroes that actually weren't really heroes. We talk about, there's been so much that we've talked about. Ford Pinto. We had a whole episode on the Ford Pinto and how it was the perfect piece of automotive equipment. We got shorts where we talk about guns and syphilitic glasses and beavers, maybe. Did I have an episode? If not, I'll make an episode about beavers.